base at the end of.
Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 33 of GTInsider. This is a place where you can come join us for quick insight into all things gaming, and maybe hear something that will enhance your gaming tribe experience. As always, everything on the show is the opinion of the host and not necessarily the opinion of Gaming Tribe or Mass Luminosity. Today we welcome Michael McConnell as our guest host, and I suppose we have a lot of topics to cover today. I actually don't know all that we're going to be talking about, but let's go ahead and start it off like usual. Joe, what games have you played this week?
Okay, this week I have played a lot of games actually, so let me think. Okay, so I played League of Legends, of course. I played Dark Souls 2 on Monday because I'm streaming that for Gaming Tribe. I played Worms Crazy Golf, Worms Pinball, Ollie Ollie, A Binding of Isaac Rebirth, Nuclear Throne, Blood Bowl Legendary Edition. I think that's it. Oh, and Team Fortress 2.
Nice.
Very
I think
nice.
that's it.
It's a whole lot of games there, pal. Goodness.
Most of them are sit down and plays for like about, 15, 20 minutes. Nothing really intensive other than the Dark Souls or TF2 sometimes.
I know, but still, it's a lot of games.
Gotta stay on
Alright.
top of it.
Tim, what games have you played this week?
Oh my goodness. I've been dabbling in the Blizzard universe, but not the new World of Warcraft. I've been playing StarCraft 2 with fellow G-Triber John, and he and I have been doing some 1v1s, and it's been a lot of fun. I haven't played that game since like Seasons came out. Like I think that was like before they changed it to their current season system. So like now the current season system is they've got like based on the actual time of the calendar year is this season. So there can be like 6 seasons throughout an entire year. So this is like 2 years ago, and I'm still holding my own against him. So it's good. And then I've been playing some Hearthstone and getting my butt handed to me because I'm using a deck that's like 3 or 4, maybe even like 5 months old. So it's just crazy. And so StarCraft 2, Hearthstone. I plan on playing some Diablo 3 later this week, and I've played maybe 2 games of League of Legends, and that's about it.
Michael, what have you
Lame.
played? Shut up, Joe. Michael, what
Not
games
that
have you
much,
played this
really.
week? Okay.
Really, I've just been playing a lot of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare with a few friends. Maybe a few racing games, not that many, like Need for Speed Rivals you've probably heard of. Not that much, really. It's just been quiet. And Arma 2, DayZ mod, which you can actually find on Steam, which I've been helping a lot of people with that as well. I've been scripting it, helping it to run up perfectly.
Nice. It's pretty obvious what I've been playing, so probably don't even have to say it. No, G-Tribe. Sorry, distracted. Anyway, all I've been playing is World of Warcraft because the expansion came out on Thursday, and between not taking time off of work like a smart individual and feeling like crap, I haven't had a whole lot of time to actually do much. I'm almost to 95, so I'm halfway to the level cap. I'm getting there, slow but steady. And I'm probably going to stream it every so often because why not? And that's it.
Oh, sorry. Finish
No.
up, and then I'll say what I was going to say.
I was actually done, so.
Oh, to say, I've heard somebody already hit level cap like halfway through last week. Like,
There
was some
are at
reward for
least
some-
16 people in my guild who are already level 100.
Yeah, because I know like all of the people, a lot of the people in the gaming area, Auburn, were talking about it, and they were like, yeah, there was some reward for the first person to hit level 100 or something like that.
It's
I
just
don't
world's
think-
first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you just get like some kind of achievement for it. I don't know. I don't really care much for the world first because I'm trying to enjoy the game as I play it, not rush to the end and miss everything and then have to play it again later.
Yeah, understand.
So, to each their own. And again, I'd rather go to work than take time off of work and hype myself up on caffeine and sit here for 24 hours to try to level all that way because it's dumb. But let's go ahead and move on. What topics are you bringing to the table this week, Joe?
Oh, me. Cool. I've got two. One of them is sort of short, but I think it's really cool, and the other one is longer and probably more famous. So I'm gonna start with the more famous one. My first topic is Binding of Isaac Rebirth because it came out last week, I believe. So it was actually my planned topic for last week, but I didn't manage to get to it because, of course, we had the giveaway last week. So I did not want to, we didn't have the time or the even like the attention span really to be able to go through topics last week because we had to manage all the stuff going on. It was awesome. Anyways,
Yeah.
but there was so Binding of Isaac Rebirth is now out for everybody who didn't know. It's basically the same game as it's pretty much the exact same game. Take that with a grain of salt what I just said though, as Binding of Isaac. However, there's a ton of stuff added into it. Just going through a lot of the key features that they've got listed. There's 450 plus items in the game, which includes 160 new unlockables, which I'm assuming means there's 160 items on top of what was already in the original Binding of Isaac games. There's new animated endings, which I don't remember if it had those in the original game. It probably did. I didn't get to many of the endings in the original game because I was really bad at it, which for some reason I've been doing a lot better in this one. I'm doing worse for some reason recently. Like I was beating Mom's heart every single run, and then all of a sudden now I'm not. I'm at like negative 47 on my win streak. So that means I've lost 47 times in a row now. Yeah, but I've been doing a lot better. But a lot of the cooler things for me are the fact that with the new engine, there's new room sizes. Like there's bigger rooms than just the standard rooms that were in the original game. 60 frames per second is constant. You don't have any frame rate issues, which I watched one of my friends playing the original Binding on his crappy computer, and it looked like he had like hacked the game to be at half speed. It was hilarious. Everything was in slow motion. Also, the controller's now got built-in support, so that's actually helped me a whole lot, and I've actually been playing a lot with my controller and doing a lot. I believe that's actually one of the things that's helped me out a lot. Also, it has co-op, which is really cool as well. So if you have a friend sitting beside you who's like, that's a cool game, I want to play along, you can be like, here, and they can like play on the keyboard while you play on your controller or something like that. So now you can play together with somebody, which this game was always just one person. Now you have player co-op, which is cool. I haven't gotten to try it out, unfortunately, yet, but I need to really badly. Another cool thing is that there are now 10 playable characters, which is cool. I'm not going to reveal like any of the newest ones just in case somebody doesn't want that spoiled for them, but they do have the old characters. They still have Cain, they still have Isaac, of course. They still have Maggie, Eden, and Samson, and all of those guys. But some of them are unlocked in different ways. Like it takes a different way to unlock Samson and Eden, I believe. Cain's still the same, 50 coins or higher on the one run through. But that's pretty much all about that game. I think it's worth a buy especially if you don't already own Binding of Isaac, because it's about $10 more than the original Isaac is, unless you have the original game, in which case it was on sale at one point. I don't know if it's still cheaper if you own the game because I already own it, and I'm assuming that goes away once you own it, and so to buy a gift copy it's full price for me now.
It's funny that you're talking about it. My Steam just popped up saying somebody jumped into that very game.
Rebirth or Isaac? Do you know which one?
Rebirth.
Rebirth, yeah, it's great. My only complaints, I don't like the soundtrack quite as much, and the pixely graphics, while they're sort of cool, I just don't like them as much as the original game's art style. It's not like it takes anything away from the gameplay or makes it less fun for me. I just enjoyed the original game's the flashy art style more of the original game. I like it a lot, though, and I'm better at it, so it's more enjoyable for me. Moving on to my second topic. I'm going to look it up in the Steam store so I can look at all the stats and stuff while I'm doing it. It's called Nuclear Throne. It's made by a company based in Sweden, I believe. You decide to lag for a little bit, called, I'm going to say the name probably wrong. It's spelled Vlambeer, I believe. Yeah, Valambeer. And the game is a ton of fun, and they specialize in really arcadey style, like old school looking games. And this game came out as a game called Wasteland Kings, and it was made during the Mojang Humble Bundle 2. which is it was this thing where a bunch of game companies, you basically paid money, and a bunch of game companies made games over 2 days. They had 2 days to make a game, and then you got that game. And so they made like basically the prototype version of this game, realized how much fun they were having with it, I guess, and decided to make it a full game. And it's on early access on Steam for $13, which seems high a little bit for an early access game. But the biggest part about this game that is amazing, in my opinion, is it has had weekly updates for at least, let me double check the community page before I get the wrong. I know it's been 50 weeks, but I think it might have been 52 now because that was like 2 weeks ago when I double checked my stats. But that is 52 weeks of not missing a weekly update. Okay,
That's
never
one
mind.
year.
Never mind. It hit 50. It hit 50 weeks this last week, so this week will be the 51st. But that's a
Okay.
weekly update, like with good like changes and headway being made in each update. They aren't small changes. They're like not like changing the game so much that you won't be enjoying the game anymore, but like balancing, fixing bugs, adding more stuff in, changing out the sounds to sound better. Like they're making hard progress. It's just like, I don't know. It's something that I'm exceptionally impressed with after being parts of a lot of like greenlit games and early access games, to see a company doing like working this hard at making sure that everything gets updated and everything is working, because they just are continually doing it. And it's just like, it's a top-down, hectic, bullet hell roguelike, basically.
Which are
Sounds
awesome.
fun. Yeah.
It is a heck ton of fun. I would, if you have like, if you have $12 lying around that you don't, or $13 because it's $12.99. If you have $13 lying around and you don't really know what kind of game you want to get next, but you need something to just like sort of occupy your mind every once in a while, Nuclear Throne, hands down, one of the best games I've played in a long time. I love this game. Still haven't beaten it. Haven't even gotten close. But it's such a fun game to play, and I definitely play it a lot. However, I will say the controller controls for this game are a bit wonky just because it's a top-down shooter that's really hectic. So I would highly suggest keyboard and mouse. Like, highest suggestion is to use your keyboard and mouse to play the game. It's just way better if you use that. But outside of that, that's the only like really like word of warning thing for this game. This game is very, very exciting and very, very fun. So yeah, that's all I have to say about those.
Awesome.
Sweet. All right, let's go ahead and shift on over to Tim.
Okay, so everyone here has seen the Ubisoft announcement for all the troubles that they've had with AC Unity, right? The new Assassin's Creed game. And I found it very interesting because I saw someone on GTribe who posted this link on Wednesday saying that Forbes, a gentleman over at Forbes, his name's Paul Tassi, wrote an article saying, entitled, "Congratulations Ubisoft, you're the new EA."
I saw that too.
And this is it's very interesting because we've been going through this huge controversy with the Gamergate stuff that I don't want to get into that because it's still unraveling. I don't really want to talk about that much. However, I do want to kind of touch base on this because I follow the whole worst company in America votes every like April or so. They come out and they start going on at the beginning of the years, and so the worst company in America this past year was Comcast, right? Well, before that, the 2 years before that, it was EA, and everyone who's anyone has something that they dislike about EA, whether they bought a game series or a franchise that. They bought a studio and then they killed the franchise, or they absolutely just changed it into something that's no longer fun. And I say this because I have a strong passion. EA did this, I feel like, with my Command and Conquer series when they bought Westwood Studios and they killed the Westwood, because that literally was the first game I ever played. Was the original Command and Conquer, August 31st, 1995. First game I ever played on a computer. Now, I mean, like, I had played some other games. But
Minesweeper.
Yeah, well, I don't even think I had played Minesweeper by then. But
shame.
it was the first game that I played. It was the first game I played with my father. I watched him play it. I tried. I failed miserably. And then it took me until 2001 before I finally beat him. So it was a 6-year trek before I finally beat my father in this game, right? And then EA shortly after, shortly after they purchased it, they made CNC Generals, and that was a pretty good game. And then they came out with the CNC 3 and added aliens, and it lost it for me. All right, they destroyed the storyline.
What about Generals though?
Generals was okay. It made it
One of
more
my friends is a
modern.
die-hard fan of Generals.
It was creative. It was unique. It was different. It still held true to the RTS franchise that Westwood had with the games. But back to Ubisoft here, it's a strong statement to be calling a company based on something that is just put it over the top. AC Unity's release has time and time again been called a botched release. And it's just all over the place. It's strongly mixed on this game. There's acquisition, or people are accusing Ubisoft of intentionally releasing the game knowing that it didn't work properly on AMD drivers. People are accusing people are accusing them of just announcing something at E3 and then saying, "Oh, it was too much work. We didn't have the resources."
Yeah,
for
that
it."
was a bit of like.
I think they did that with the playable female character,
They claimed that it would take too much work to animate another female character.
which
I'm not sure where their logic was on that, but maybe it was the fact that they had already created. I'm not supporting whatever their decision was, but I'm saying maybe it was the fact that they had already gone through the process of animating all of their characters, and then to go back and add in another character and playtest through, maybe that would be too much, is what they were trying to say. I don't know if that's valid or anything, but that's the most reasonable, I think, explanation.
Another thing is now they've started tying all their games together to DMR or
DRM.
DRM. I read that
DMR.
dyslexia took over, but that's okay. And I don't understand this, right? They've added microtransactions basically and microtransactions as high as I think it's $100, which
Yep.
is ridiculous.
That's
And
to unlock everything, I believe.
is it okay?
Yes.
Well, why would I pay $60 for a game and then pay another $99 to unlock everything when I just bought the game?
Exactly.
Like it doesn't make sense. Having to be connected to the internet, to their applications that they've made for the AC franchise and all this stuff. I feel like they're releasing these games way too fast in order for them to be good. And this comes from somebody who played on the original Assassin's Creed on a Xbox 360 in a trailer with a black and white television that wasn't even hooked up to cable my freshman year of college, and collected about 90% of all the flags inside of that game. I had 2 of the achievements for all the flags. So I've put my grind into these games, right? I've done the feathers in Assassin's Creed 2 and just keep on going through the list. But, Assassin's Creed is just one game. This article on Forbes goes through and talks about their release with Watch Dogs, how apparently...
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was Ubisoft, honestly. I never paid attention to who was the releasing
Publisher.
that game.
Yeah.
Publisher, yeah.
And with Watch Dogs, it wasn't really necessarily the game is bad or the game is good. It was that, once again, this company went in, they had their own press release at E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, and they dressed up the footage, or they made the game look infinitely better than was actually released. And they're going through and they're saying that not only is Ubisoft, that translates not only as Ubisoft technically doing it, but they're saying that people are going to start losing faith in something like E3, which is an awesome event to cover.
Yeah.
And I have plans to actually go to it. That probably are going to have to change because of other plans that have come up in recent weeks for next year. But I love E3. I've been watching it for a while, and all this stuff. And I would hate to see Ubisoft be kind of the company that people start saying, well, is it worth even watching companies at these conventions or expos or anything like that? Because I think that's an integral part. Just think about everything else that goes on at these things, from cosplaying to, meeting different personalities and a bunch of YouTubers go to it. Maybe you want to meet somebody, they're going to be at an event, you'll go to it, right? Well, what happens when those people start losing faith in the events that they're actually covering? And so I think this is starting to show a much larger picture that this gentleman Paul Tassi has kind of highlighted, but he hasn't directly said. So I'm kind of putting my own words into this. And this is a fear of mine because I love all this stuff as a fan of not only Ubisoft, but because I love the Far Cry series. I played the original and Far Cry 2. And then, Joe, I believe you played a lot of the Blood Dragon.
I played all the way through. I beat Blood Dragon. Let me bring up Steam really quick, and I can tell you how long it took me to beat Blood Dragon, because I beat it, planned on going, like on every game that I slammed myself through just for the story. I beat it quickly, planned to go back for the achievements, and never did. Oh wait, it's Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Went to the wrong place. I actually uninstalled it recently because I was running out of space on my computer. 22 hours. Wow, 22 hours. Did it take me that long?
You probably left the menu open for a little while.
That's
Wow.
the majority of my game time, is I just walk away and just leave the game going.
No, that wasn't me on Blood Dragon. I know that. Wow, I didn't realize I spent that long in that game. That was a great game. It was fantastic.
But what do you think about that? Because
I just think
it's a huge mixed controversy that's going on right now, and I think that Ubisoft has just kind of been highlighted because they're the game that released the new Call of Duty, which Michael's going to touch base on here in a little while, came out. It was actually highlighted as really good. So it's not like people are just looking to take out Rage. Something has to be seriously wrong inside of this structure between the Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft to cause something this pivotal to be just highlighted instantly.
Yeah, I mean, for me with Ubisoft, my relationship with them is weird, I guess, compared to a lot of other people's. Because the main game that I care about that Ubisoft makes is Rayman. And Rayman has just been on the uphill for the last few years, because they had Legends, and then they basically did it again with Origins, and they both have been incredible games. With the DRM thing just being, they don't really care about DRM on their Rayman games apparently, because neither of them require Uplay, as far as I can recall.
And I think this Uplay development is kind of new.
It was on Trials Evolution, I know that, because I do own one game that I play, and I like Trials. And honestly, Uplay never bothered me. I know a lot of people have had issues with it apparently, like it messed up when they were trying to play their games. It's never messed up when I was playing my games. So I haven't had a problem with it, and it never really affected me any. Like, I thought it was a nice little addition almost on some games, because it added in, like, the achievements on Uplay were a way to unlock points to get, like, nice little cosmetics for in-game stuff on Trials Evolution, which was something I sort of liked. But if it's causing you to not be able to play your game, then obviously, yeah, there's something wrong with it, and it made me feel sort of bad. But, I mean, it's weird for me, because companies don't really, like, I don't really pay attention to game companies at this. Everybody knows, I buy a ton of, like, little tiny indie games or, like, really weird, obscure games. And so, I don't know. I don't understand companies as much anymore for games, because it's just like, oh, I don't link them to, like, I don't link groups of games together under the company. I just link the games together themselves. Like, I totally forgot that Ubisoft made Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed. When I think Ubisoft, I honestly think Rayman, and that's about it. That's the only game
When
I think
of them, I think of Rocksmith, because that's like the first game I ever bought that was made by
Is that
them.
the one that was like with the real guitar to teach you how to play guitar?
Yeah.
Yes,
And it
I
uses the
have
real
it.
guitar? I always thought that was awesome. Does it work well? Well, wait, that's way off topic.
if I actually played it, I could tell you that. I bought it
saw
and
that
then
and
I
I
just
thought about
haven't used it. I do plan on trying to use it because my guitar just sits in the corner and I can't play
If I
it.
ever
Right.
move near you, I'll teach you how to play guitar. It's not hard.
It'd be awesome. But if I do start playing Rocksmith, I'll totally stream it so everyone can laugh at how bad I am. But
Done. I
when
like
you
it.
mentioned Uplay, and I also saw it in the chat where someone's like they don't agree with adding another client, and it's something that I had thought about a while back. I know this is a tangent, but I just got to say this because it comes up in my mind every few weeks.
Yeah, go for
And
it.
it's
Go
like
for it.
I wish there was a third party client that takes all the other clients and just puts it all into one, so I don't have to have all these extra
There is.
things. Well,
It's Steam.
yeah, okay. The last time I tried to load stuff from Steam from something else, it didn't work. I don't
Yeah.
remember what game it was because that was a while ago.
Yeah, no, I was just messing with you.
So, you punk. Steam is the large majority, which is why I'm always on Steam and I'm never on Origin or Uplay or anything because I just don't remember that they're there. But I think it would be cool if there was something like that so that you log into all of them, kind of like Outlook for email, but for the game systems. And I'm like, that would be really awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're good at programming, get to it. Let's go.
I think that was the goal for Steam, and honestly, Steam, like, as much as everybody says they dislike DRM, Steam is a giant DRM. That is what Steam is. Like, Steam
Yeah.
is created as a DRM. However, it is the best, well-executed DRM ever because it adds features that everybody wants. It adds a
Yes.
chat client. It locates all your games together. It records your playtime. It gives achievements. It is the best DRM execution I've ever seen.
I love
The
Steam.
problem is that for some reason, some companies aren't okay with Steam being the only source of DRM. I'm not quite sure why. I think that a lot of times it's simply that the company wants you to be able to get their game without Steam so that they can not have to give any royalties to Steam because you do have to pay Valve. I am sure you have to pay Valve to
Yeah.
host their game through your servers. And so by having like EA Origins and Uplay, you could run Uplay without starting Steam. Like nobody's ever going to do, at least not for the
who
near
does
future. But like if you were to open those games, you could buy the game directly from the company, and then they don't have to pay. They don't lose any of your purchase. I'm guessing this is how it works. I don't know how it works for sure, but I'm guessing that they wouldn't lose any of the money from that purchase to Valve, and that's why so many companies are doing this now. Is because I don't know how much Valve takes out of it, but apparently they don't like losing. I mean, you're a company. You don't like losing any money that you could continue to gain. And so instead of like having it hosted separately, in order to have all the games being able to sort of be like all regulated together, and especially have cross multiplayer with the people, because you don't want to be able to be like, oh, I bought my game on Steam, so I can't play with somebody else who has it on Uplay. So I guess that the companies want to source it all together, so it sort of has to go through their system as well, especially if they're hosting the servers, and that's probably where all the secondary DRMs are coming from.
Yeah, but
It's just trying to break something that, if you look at Steam, Steam kind of has a monopoly on it. So
They do. They really do.
I'm perfectly okay with that though.
For right now, until someone shows me something that's a lot better, it's just gonna
Gaben
have to be
kicks
that way.
kittens. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Gaben, I'm sorry.
Just start the next DRM program that competes with Steam's Valve.
Just remember, it has to only add features.
Just do something that's titled "Kittens Are Us," and every time you boot a game, you get a load screen with a different kitten. I don't know.
I'd be down for that.
That's all I had on it. I just kind of wanted to know. Joe, you and I have been talking about this since I posted the article.
Oh yeah,
earlier this week. But it's just I think that's just a huge topic that people just kind of need to. I read through the lines, and I love reading Forbes articles because I mean, if people haven't figured that out yet, then they don't know me. But that's really all I had. So, Michael, you want to talk? You've got some interesting stuff here, highlighting the new Call of Duty, right?
Uh-oh. Say something
wait.
again?
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, I muted my microphone on here. I've got an option. It's all right. It's just that a lot of new features have actually been implemented into Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It's a decent game. It's to compare it with Ghosts, it's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is a lot more better than Ghosts compared to what they have done. They've actually implemented a lot more stuff into the game, like for instance, like the DNA bomb. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No, not until you mentioned it earlier before the show. So,
I don't even play Call of Duty, so I know nothing about the game whatsoever.
I played probably more of the original 3 Call of Duties, and I played a lot of Modern Warfare 1 and 2. I've touched pretty much every release at least once, and however I don't own them. So
I haven't owned
Touch.
any of them, but I played competitively only on Black Ops 1 because my friend had an Xbox and I bought an account to play on by myself. But I've always wanted to get a shooting game, and it sounds like this is the one to get back into the series with because it sounds like it's, well, good. And a lot of people have said things about it. So, yeah.
I don't know if you've probably heard of it's obviously there's Call of Duty Black Ops 2 as well. And there's Titanfall. They're both very similar to each other. Titanfall can be a slow-paced game as well. That's how you want to play it, you can. There's a fast-paced. Same with Black Ops 2. They're both being put in together into Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Like for instance, you can where is it? There was one option that you could actually call in. In Titanfall you can call in your Titanfall.
Yeah, you call in your Titan, and then the player can get in there and do that.
It's the same with Call of Duty.
You were
Advanced
mentioning
Warfare.
something inside
Your
of
Goliath.
the
XS1 Goliath. You can actually call that as a speciality that you can get in and start shooting people around with that. It's slow. It's not as fast as what you think it would be.
Yeah, so you were mentioning between this fast play and slow play, which I think that the Call of Duty franchise has always been really fast play. Whenever I play it, I feel like it's always really fast play. Games go by really quick, as an FPS I think should. But you mentioned this slow play earlier, and I had those videos that you had sent of another GTriber playing, and you kind of showcased the differences between the two play styles. And I think it'd be really beneficial if you just kind of highlight what you saw inside of that, and then I'll touch base on what I saw.
It's quite difficult, really. I'll actually let you go on and get yours through first, and then I can actually figure out what to exactly say about it.
That's all good. So basically, you showed these videos of, for the first one, you had the sniper rifle. His name's John, right? I'm getting that right? Okay, John was showing this video of his gameplay where he gets 4 kills, 5 kills really fast, or really slow. And he does one with a sniper rifle and one with an assault rifle. And it kind of showcases that with the sniper rifle inside of Call of Duty is really about moving constantly. If you're a camper, you're a scrub. Get lost. And
but I'm a snipey snipe. I have to camp.
But he was doing it with a sniper, and on this one, he was showing that you can get a lot of kills at kind of a slow pace by bouncing around. He would walk prone and shoot someone, and then he would move again, and he would do this at kind of a constant pace, but it was really slow. It felt really slow. It looked really slow. And then he showcases it again alongside an assault rifle in a different scenario. And he does the same thing, but he does it probably about twice as fast. And it's kind of the difference between the two weapons that causes this difference between slow play and fast play. And I thought it was awesome. It's just, on top of that, it was really solid gameplay. So.
Yeah, he does play it pretty well compared to what I'm like on it. Like, Not as good as he is, but I do play it fairly decent to my pace, the way I want to play it. But the only issues that I've actually noticed so far is probably with like the host, like peer to peer, is lag issues at the moment, and as FPS drops in certain maps. For instance, like I think Defender is the most map that's causing a lot of problems. It's if you've got like a certain settings, it's causing where is it? It's loading too much shaders at the same time. So that's why you're actually timing out and keep crashing. You think it's your end, it's not. It's the actual game itself.
Oh, that stinks.
So that's probably where it's got a lot of mixed reviews,
Yeah.
especially on the Steam page. Almost 5,000 reviews. It's showing up as mixed, and you look and you see it's all the people who are saying it's positive are doing really well in the game. They've put a lot of hours, and all the people who are saying it's negative, they're just saying that it's the peer to peer. It's a consistent peer to peer connection that's causing the negative feedback.
It is. It's just horrendous. It's not balanced at all. Like me and John were playing a match a few days ago, and we just encountered it several times. It just wouldn't fix itself. He's got like a pretty stable connection to me and him. It's just the other players, they don't have the connection whatsoever. They need to actually fix that.
Yeah, peer-to-peer transfers have been around for a while, and I think it works great for trying to like patch the game. But I don't really know. Joe, do you know of any other games that kind of solely rely on peer-to-peer?
Yes, I actually know a game that's very close to my heart that relies on peer-to-peer. Dark Souls 2's co-op and PvP is fully peer-to-peer except for the matchmaking portion of it. So except for finding the person to connect you with, it is all peer-to-peer, which is great on some things. Like for Dark Souls, I don't understand really the reasoning behind using peer-to-peer for the multiplayer in this game. Other than the fact that it saves the expense of having to have servers somewhere, and maybe... Actually, okay, I take it back. I sort of understand some of the reasoning now that I'm rethinking through it. Peer-to-peer is cool because it's faster for the most part than going to a server. For the most part, and
basically, it's faster than going from a player to a server back to a player, or a player to a server to another server and back to a player.
The reason I think that they're doing peer-to-peer is that I remember when I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops, it would be great from about 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. My games would be great. Like I wouldn't have like too much lag or anything. But hit about like after 8, like from 9 to 12, all of a sudden I would start like not being able to react. It would feel like I wasn't reacting quickly as the other players were. And what it actually was is that I was only playing people in California because there were more people on in California than there were in our side of this US. And so what it was is like, so they had a faster connection than I did. So I wasn't able to react quite as quickly. And what I think that Call of Duty is trying to do by doing peer-to-peer is make it so that more often you'll be connected to people that are in your area, meaning that your signal doesn't have to go as far to a dedicated server somewhere. Because, like, otherwise, if you happen to live in an area that's the furthest possible away from your dedicated server location, you'll have a huge disadvantage every single game you play.
Especially in a game that Call of Duty, Dark Souls, anything that requires like
and with Dark Souls, there are massive issues with the peer-to-peer. Like for most part, most of my matches are relatively good, but like there's certain weapons that in Dark Souls have their hitboxes get exceptionally strange when you're fighting them in PvP. Like katanas are super guilty of having hitboxes that go out like a foot past the end of the sword, so you won't dodge hit. You think. I've seen so many deaths happen when a spear was lunged at me, and I'm like at an 80-degree angle away from the lunge, and I get hit by the spear anyways. Like my character reacts like he was hit, and there's nothing touching him. I get mad, but then I'm like, on their screen, I was probably right there when I got hit. Like, it's just one of those things where peer-to-peer is good, and it can work well, but it's exceptionally hard to work. Hopefully they'll switch into dedicated servers eventually. I would rather have dedicated servers for a first-person shooter game. Like, just personally, I would rather deal with having the slight disadvantage if I live further away than that. Just because on average, it's almost like if there was a huge natural disaster, the government has like acceptable losses. I feel like the acceptable losses from having a dedicated server are better than the mass irritation that you will get from a peer-to-peer connection when it's possible. Dark Souls 2 can't do dedicated servers, like just because it's supposed to be seamless gameplay. When you get invaded, you don't go to a loading screen. The only person loading in is the person jumping into your game to attack you. So it's seamless for the person playing the game. But like with a game like this, where like the multiplayer is you sit in a lobby, you wait for the next map to get selected, then you load in. I feel like a dedicated server is better, but I also feel like there's an inordinate amount of people complaining about the peer-to-peer connection. Like somebody wrote a review on. There's 2 reviews on here that are 0.2 hours on record. That's 0.4 hours. Like, and these are like the quote-unquote helpful reviews on Steam, and I'm just like, if you played that long, you don't need to be reviewing your game yet. Like, it's obviously you have not given it time. You haven't even tried the game out fully, especially if the freaking story mode, the single player story mode for this game apparently is about 7 to 8 hours. If you played 0.2 hours, you went straight into multiplayer without even playing the storyline. Awesome. Which I mean, I realize a lot, but yeah, so that's peer-to-peer versus server. There's a lot of things to be said for both sides.
Michael, you got anything else on this? I know there was tons of new features in this game. You mentioned the DNA bomb and other things. What else did you see? Your mic's muted again, bud.
Oh, great. I need to stop doing that. I've only noticed just recently on the stats that I've actually noticed about this game, there was more than 75,000 unique Twitch users actually shared their Advanced Warfare gameplay. And that was I think it was sometime this week on the 13th, this Thursday. 75,000 unique. Yeah, there's been viewed 26 million times. It drew 6 new million unique visitors last week. Twitch users have spent 327 million minutes watching all the streams.
There's a lot of people interested is what I'm hearing right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a really useful game.
I definitely got interested when there's a guy who comes around the student center who's horrendously critical of games, especially the AAA mainstream game titles. And he said it's good. Like, he was like, and it's actually good. I was like, this guy never says a game is good. So, like, I've definitely got interested from that point, and just hearing from everybody else how it's like they seem to be doing better for it. But it seems like they finally sort of figured out what to do next with the series at this point, Because for a while it's sort of been the same, not the same, but it's been like the multiplayer's been, 2 teams just sort of shooting it. It seems like they're figuring out what to do with their series at this point, and hopefully they'll continue to progress it.
If I'm not mistaken, what I've heard, I'm not too sure if this is true, it may be just to be a rumor, that they are going to be making dedicated servers for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
It's like, from what I've been reading of the reviews, it seems like the plan is to eventually have dedicated servers, but for right now they're using peer-to-peer until they get it set up.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like saying, because there's a lot of reviews that are like, with peer-to-peer, no review, needs wait for dedicated servers or something like that. And those reviews I can feel like are a bit more fair when it's like saying, I don't like it because it's peer-to-peer right now, but there's going to be dedicated down the road. Then I'll re-review it. But yeah, so apparently it does seem like there will be dedicated servers in the future. That being said, I haven't seen an official announcement saying it. But let me see here now. Advanced Soldier, blah, blah, blah. Well, it doesn't really talk about it.
All right. Well, it sounds like it's still got another. It just came out. It looks like it can develop however it's going to develop. So let's just go ahead and move on. And we'll touch base again with you, Michael. I look forward to seeing you post something when you have a little bit more opinions on it. I know John's probably chock full of them. Maybe we should get him over here when he's not actually
I know,
playing.
right?
So, but look forward to seeing that. And let's do some gaming tribe talk.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and take over for a little bit, since I haven't really said much of anything for a little while there. I have no input for Call of Duty. I think I tried one of the games when they had a free weekend, and I lasted all of 5 minutes, and I was like, it's not my cup of tea. I went right back to WoW. So I have no input, no opinions, or anything else like that. So, but on the G-Tribe side, if you guys are unaware, there has been a wonderful interview with Angel done by A-List Daily where he discusses his return to esports. If you haven't read it yet, I highly suggest you do so, because there's lots of interesting stuff being covered in that, and I'm not going to spoil any of it. Go read it. It's really odd to say that. Also posted by the Massive Monster G-Tribe page are some easy-to-follow directions on how to get a G-Tribe app-like icon on your home screen for your phone on all devices. I will try to get that posted in the Twitch chat and onto my status page for those that don't have that already, because it's very useful. Unless you're like me and you just leave that tab open in your browser all the time, so as soon as you open your browser on your phone, it's right there anyway. I don't need to do the app because it's always there. But moving on to another one, big shout out to, is it Jaco Pinto? I'm probably butchering his name, but that's okay. For having his gaming life lessons selected, and his own was paying attention to the small details helps you find the best secret rewards. And that's actually a really solid lesson right there. I can appreciate that, and I can see why it was selected, so shout out to him. And I want to give another congratulations to the 3 lucky winners of an AMD Never Settle Space Edition Silver Bundle code for their comments on the interview post a little while back. Those winners are, I'm going to butcher this, don't hate me, Rui Palmeira from Portugal. Is it Nave or Nave?
I call him Nave.
We can't
but
see
that's
the name.
not
Yeah,
right.
I call him Knave.
Yeah,
Where are y'all
I don't.
seeing?
Oh, I have it typed up in the corner, but it's posted on the Massive Monster G-Tribe page.
Okay.
But so Nave Hersko from Israel and Mohammed, I'm not going to try the rest of that name, from Malaysia. So big congratulations to you guys. I'm not sure what your comments were. I'm not going to lie, I actually didn't comment on that status at all. I didn't feel like it. I'm just going to be brutally honest there. But every little thing that you do, guys, you never know. You might win something. Or
Awesome.
it just might help further everything along. I don't know if I'm missing anything G-Tribe related, Tim, that you might want to share.
There's one
probably
thing that
am.
just got sent to me from Angel himself, literally about 10 minutes ago on the cast. I finally got what was the message. And it has to do with the RWD. So everyone knows that Phase 1's already been launched.
Yes.
Phase 2 has been coming, is expected to come soon. And I'm gonna just say this right now. Yeah, TM trademark. So there's a lot of it's expected to launch in the next few days. They've been working hard on it, and Angels also said that the final aspect will be incorporated is the new Gaming Tribe communication system, and that is almost ready. So the new messaging system, he's saying communication system, so I'm thinking there's something a little bit more about this that's going to improve upon the past messenger. I'm hoping for some group communication. I don't have any details, so this is just speculation. But the new Gaming Tribe communication system is almost ready, and as soon as that is, Phase 2 will launch. And Phase 3 is expected to come in February 2015. And it's expected to include some significantly awesome new community features.
I'm so excited.
So don't know what that could be. It may be some things that he might have hinted in over on that interview. You might want to go read between the lines.
Yes.
But absolutely. So in the next few days, all the pages on Gaming Tribe are going to move over to the RWD, the responsive web design. Once again, the new communication system. As soon as that's ready, it's going to be launched in this phase 2, and then this phase 3 that none of us have heard about is expected for February 2015. So thank you, Angel, for sharing that with us to announce here on the show. And I think we covered everything.
Right before we close it, Tim, I mentioned this on G Tribe and also in a private phone call with all of us. This is mostly just for the volunteers. A while back, we did a video that was sort of a meet and greet, so everyone could see who the community volunteers were. But 2015 is almost upon us. It's been a while. Some people have come, some people have gone, and I want to do a more up-to-date recent one. So if you are a community member, please message me on G Tribe. I'm going to make a video later today that's an example of what I'm looking for, and I want you guys to do a little blurb, record yourself, send it to me so I can piece it all together or give to somebody else who's better at this video editing stuff than me and have them do it. But I definitely want to get that done, so I'm just putting that out there.
That's going to be awesome. So
Yes.
once again, thank you everyone for tuning in to the Gaming Tribe. Be sure to go over to Gaming Tribe real quick and send another shout out and thanking the sponsors. XFX, C-Sonic, Cooler Master, HyperX, ADATA, Seagate, Asus. Who am I missing? AMD for I missed them. Balls, Logitech Gaming. Just go over there, shout out to all of them. There were a couple of
Show
others.
them the love.
Yeah, show them some love. You never know if they're watching, and with that, you never know if they're itching to give some things out. So, there are probably going to be some awesome stuff coming up soon. Look forward to phase 2. Hopefully, we get to talk about all the significant changes and the differences that have occurred between phase 1, phase 2, from the old design to the new design next week. I also look forward to Kirsten. She should be showing up on the next episode. So
Yes,
I know everyone
I'm so happy.
everyone loves her. So she should be coming in to talk a little bit about Borderlands pre-sequel. So look forward to that. And I think that's about it. So we're going to sign off, and thank you once again for everyone who tuned in.
Yes, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Tune in next week. Wait, I totally skipped over the part of where we can find us online.
That's okay. By now, people should be able to find us. So
Should.
all right, Michael, once again, thank you for tuning in with us and joining us for this show. And thank you for sharing us a little bit about Call of Duty and Advanced Warfare. So,
Yeah, it's fine.
all right. Bye, y'all.
Are we still on?